Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. This is Tiffany coming through live in effect on Facebook. This morning, I want to explain why I say this Pan Africanism versus American descendant of slaves, also known as ADOS, is lame. Let me tell you why I say it's lame. I'm going to explain why. Because at the end of the day, those who are Pan-Africanists are also a descendant of the slaves. Okay? Those who claim Pan-Africanism are also American descendant of slaves. And there are some who are in the Pan-Africanist organization. They're just descendant of slaves from other countries. So the shit is lame as fuck to me. Why are we having a rebuttal against each other? What point is going to be proven? The two should coexist. I agree. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this, all right? Because it seems like people are not getting it on my post, so I'm going to say this. Yes, we are American descendant of slaves. Yes. No one is taking away that argument. We are. But what Miss Yvette Carnell is doing, this ain't something new about reparation. People been fighting for reparation for years. In Cobra, Pan-Africanist movement, they've been doing it for years. This ain't something new, okay? This ain't something new. And right now, the United States government is in $22 trillion debt. It's in $22 trillion debt. All right, so the chances of us gaining reparation is very slim. I am all for the idea. I am for that. Yes, we should get what is owed to us in this country because our ancestors built this country with blood, sweat, and tears. With free labor. Yes. Our ancestors built that shit. Built this country. And do I agree that there are immigrants who are taking over, who getting resources? Yes, there are immigrants who reaping the benefits. Okay? There are those who are reaping the benefits. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that. And I agree that we should reap the benefits that our ancestors fought hard for. I agree. But when I'm trying to show people, besides all the ideas, we are American descendant of slaves here in America. But what I'm trying to show y'all is the person that's behind this movement, they created this movement as a rebuttal against Pan-Africanism. They created this movement as a rebuttal against Pan-Africanism. The person that is the founder, which is Miss Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, but mainly Miss Yvette Carnell, at one point in time, she called herself African American. She didn't have no problem identifying herself as African American. But all of a sudden, she had a change of heart and decided that I'm not going to call myself African. I'm just going to say I am a descendant of the slaves. Why? Because according to her, right, and it is true that Africans sold us into slavery. There was African people that was involved in the transatlantic slave and that sold our people into slavery. So she said out her own mouth, if you sold our people into slavery, you're not my ancestor. You're not my people. That's her attitude. Although you're going to find out genetically you got African in you. I mean, she knows she got African in her, obviously. But she doesn't want to claim Africa because of the origin and history. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm not against the idea for reparation. Nobody's saying that we should not get reparation. No one's saying that we should not get what is owed to us or we should reap the same benefit. But what I'm telling you is, it's a biased concept behind this. It's a rebuttal behind this. And if you truly want to be technically honest, this shit here Pan Africanism versus ADOS, this creates a more division. This is creating a division between African Americans and the Africans in the diaspora and those in the continent. That's what it's creating. So now if you guys see what's going on my post, you will see that those who are for the Pan-Africanist idea, they going against those who are ADOS, or ADOS people are going against Pan-Africanist people. Instead of saying, you know what, let's coexist. Nah, Pan-African is dead. This is the people of ADOS. And that creates the conflict. We should not be in conflict with each other. If we all are oppressed people, because at the end of the day, if you want to know why we in this predicament, why we see each other the way we do, it's not just tribalism, it's colonialism. It's colonialism. The Europeans have done a great job at making sure that we are battling against each other. And not only that, here in America, black people, we have so many identity crises, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you got folks saying, I'm Moor, I'm Hebrew, 5%. You got those of us who saying we're African Americans, and then now you got people saying, nah, I ain't African American, I'm a descendant of slaves. Well, what the hell you think the slaves were? Descendant of those who were African. What the hell? I mean, come on now. The point is, the shit is lame as fuck. This shit is lame as fuck. What point, how you gonna get across? How is it that you trying to fight for reparation if you constantly battling each other? How are we going to get what is necessary for our community if we can't coexist? This shit is lame. It don't matter what the fuck you call yourself. You can call yourself a Pan-African. You can call yourself an ADOS. It don't matter. Because at the end of the day, you still going to be oppressed. You still going to be identified as a black person. So that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Ain't nobody saying they're against reparation or against the idea that we should have what is given to us as a people. Nobody is saying that. But what I am saying is we cannot be sitting up here dealing with divide and conquering. I do agree there are those immigrants who are arrogant as fuck and who will look down upon you. There are immigrants who are arrogant as fuck and look down upon black people. But guess what? There are black people that look down upon black people all the fucking time. And tell me I'm lying. We like crabs in the barrel. So if you're going to make an argument that, oh, the immigrants, see, when they come here to America, see, they want to look down upon us and they talk so bad about us and this, that. Guess what? Black folks talk bad about each other too. Oh, the immigrants, see, they fight each other in their own country, this, that, they be killing one another. Guess what? We do it in our own community as well. You will find black folks killing each other over gangs, turf, territory, whatever. So if you're going to make an argument about the immigrants looking down upon you, you might as well make an argument about your own people looking down upon you. You see it all the time. I mean, so what's your argument? So yeah, there's immigrants I don't deal with because they got this narcissistic attitude. But there's some black folks I can't deal with because of their narcissistic attitude. Or here's another one. Oh, see, the immigrants, see, they take the resources, right? They take our resources and they take our money and they go elsewhere. And they don't think or consider anything. That's true. Yes, they come into the community. Yes, they take the money and use it elsewhere. There are those that do. But guess what? You got those black people that get wealthy and get rich off your ass. And they take the money and go somewhere else and ain't even thinking about you. They don't even come back to you. You got some black folks that sell you a dream. They'll sell you this idea of unity and don't even think about you. They'll sell you idea of consciousness and don't even think about you. They'll talk about white supremacy all day long, every single day. And guess what? They taking your money and not giving a damn about you. You got black folks that sit up here and sell you some false ass shit. But and them immigrants, see, they sit up here, they selling us this, that, and other, and they sell us fake stuff, and they don't care nothing about us this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? You got black folks selling fake ass shit too. Selling you some shit like status correction. Talking about tax lien. Talking about some snake oil shit. I mean, if we're going to criticize the black immigrants that comes here, we might as well criticize our own people too. We got to call our people out too. Hell, you got the very same people that talk about white supremacy, this, that, and the other. Guess what? They are the white supremacy. They just a white supremacy hiding in a black face. They are the white supremacy hiding in a black face. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just being realistic. So if we gonna sit here and complain about how immigrants come over here, and most of them come from very poor countries, such as Haiti. Haiti is very poor. Do you know Haiti owes money to France? And they trying to fight for reparation in their country, and they owe money to France. But they come here to get a better life. So we shouldn't fault the immigrants for having resources for anything. The main people you need to be going after is the European, because they the ones that's reaping the benefit mostly out of everybody. Out of everyone, they reap the most benefits. I was talking to a co-worker of mine today about it, and she spoke about the Japanese. She had a good argument. Well, the Japanese, they didn't got reparation. Well, what the hell the Japanese getting reparation for? The Jews got reparation. What the Jews getting reparation for? And I understand. But what I'm saying is, the people that's really reaping the most benefit off our blood, sweat, and tears is the white folks. And I'm just being honest. It's not about racism. It's not about being a bigotry. It's the truth. That's who reaping most of the benefits. And another thing I want to talk about, the HBCUs. People make argument, oh, these are immigrants, regard to the black immigrants. Well, these immigrants, they go to our HBCUs. Since when? Show me where the ancestors, those who founded these colleges, said that can't no black immigrants come to our colleges. Show me. Show me where it says that black people who are a descendant of other black people that come from other countries cannot come to our colleges. Because I don't see that nowhere. When I see HBCUs, that means historically black college and university. So that pertains to any black person, regardless where you from. We all should be able to go to HBCUs. Whether you black in America, black from the Virgin Islands, black from South America, whatever, you should be able to go to those HBCUs. It wasn't just designated just for black people in America. That's the part right there that kills me. That part right there, we got to cut that part out. Because you're not going to sit here and make that argument to me talking about, well, see, the HBCU is just for black people in America only. No. Why should it just be just for black people in America only? Kwame, it's called colonialism. It's called colonialism. That's all it is. And the concept, the whole purpose is to divide and conquer. That's it. Divide and conquer. So let's go back to this whole Kamala Harris situation. So yes, Kamala Harris come from her father is Jamaican. Her mother is Indian. But she was born here in America as a black woman. Or a person that's identified as black. And she went to HBCU. She went to Howard University. And you know what Miss Yvette Carnell said? Well, she's not an American descendant of the slaves. And she going to Howard University, this, that, and the other. She black. She's a black American. Her father is Jamaican. That's not her problem. She has no control over that. Her father comes from Jamaica. It's not like she's going to be able to go back to Jamaica and ask for reparation. She was born as an American. So she has that right to go to an HBCU. Oh, and also, here's another one. We like to tell who and what can identify as black. So if somebody that's an immigrant, black immigrant, identify as black, there's those people who have a problem with that. You can't tell nobody they can't identify as being black. Or let's say somebody was biracial and they want to identify as black. Who are you to say they can't identify as being black? Because that's the African part of them. You can't take that away from them. That's who they are. That's their lineage. If they got an African side of them and they want to identify with that, then who are you to say they can't? You know, we focus on the wrong thing. Instead of focusing on the common goal for our people, we operate under emotional rebuttal. And the point that I'm making is this whole concept, of the ADOS movement, besides the idea of reparation and getting what is owed for black people, let's look at it from a principle standpoint. It's a rebuttal against Pan Africanism. How do I know this? Because the person that founded the ADOS movement, she does not identify with Pan Africanism. That's the truth. She don't identify with that. She doesn't even identify herself as African. And she got African lineage. She don't identify with herself as African. She used to call herself African American. Then she said, I'm no longer going to call myself African American. I'm going to call myself American DOS, a descendant of slaves. Like as if those slaves don't have any African lineage. They do. So that shows that she is biased. And I know this because I used to watch her all the damn time. And that's kind of like one of the reasons why she consider herself as an American. Which is cool, because she is an American. But when I'm saying at one point in time, she used to say she's African American. At one point in time, she used to say, I am African American. But now she say, I'm not going to call myself African American. I'm going to call myself American descendant of the slaves. Which basically those slaves are the lineage of African people who were brought here to America. I mean, it don't matter what you identify yourself, your DNA doesn't change. Your genetic makeup does not change. So it is what it is. So the point is, it's bias. And I'm not being a hater. I'm not. Well, Chris, she does not want to be both. She does not want to be African American. She wants to be an American descendant of slaves. That's what she want to be. She doesn't want to identify with Africa. She don't want to identify her African lineage. And it's no hate towards her. I don't have a personal issue with her. But I just know that her concept is biased. I mean, now, do she have some good information? Do she have some great source? Yes, she does. She has a lot of great source. She does. She really touch a lot on politics and government. That's something you have to ask her, Chris. You have to ask her why she decided that she doesn't want to identify as being African American and prefer to be called American descendant of the slaves. So the point is, my whole point is, her name is Yvette Carnell. Look up Yvette Carnell. She got a YouTube channel. So, I mean, again, I'm not knocking her resources. She comes with good information. She comes with a lot of database, but it's just her attitude and her approach. And I figured, I kind of knew that I knew where this was going. When that whole ADOS movement came out, I said, I know it's going to be a rebuttal against Pan Africanism. And that's exactly what it is. And it has shown to be a rebuttal against Pan Africanism. Why? Because you wouldn't have people talking about Pan Africanism versus ADOS. She wouldn't be saying Pan Africanism is dead. I'm just saying. I'm just letting it be known. But anyways, and I see that a lot of us do not take advantage of dealing with history on more in-depth level. This is why, if we're going to study history, we got to go, again, we have to go beyond ancient Egypt. and all the other stuff in the metaphysics, we got to go beyond that. And we really got to study what our ancestors have done here in America as far as revolutionary is concerned, as far as educational, politics, science, all of that, and also in the diaspora. So we can be able to have a good understanding and idea. And we can be able to know our history. You're not going to know every single thing. And that's part of life. You're not going to know every single thing. But you're going to know enough to be able to open up that door and be more open-minded. But here's my question to Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. Are they willing to organize with community leaders? That's my question. If this movement comes about, are they willing to organize with the community leaders in the community that are doing things for the people? As far as the black businesses is concerned, education, bringing about STEM program, bringing about advocating for resources that's necessary for our people. Are they willing to reach out to those in the inner city, in the urban communities, and actually go to the events that is hosted by community leaders? That's my question. Because if you're not willing to extend and to reach out to the philanthropists in our community, then I see where your agenda stands. If you cannot reach out to the philanthropists in the community, then I know where your agenda stands. Now, I'm getting exhausted. This whole thing is becoming exhausting. Ladies and gentlemen, we allowing this to get to us. We allowing this to take toll over us. We're allowing this to bring about more bickering. If we constantly bicker at each other the way we do about this, we not going to ever come to a solution. So at some point in time, the Pan Africanists and the ones that call themselves ADOS going to have to find a way to coexist. Especially if you're talking about the idea of reparation, you're going to have to coexist. But if you're going to constantly have Pan Africanism versus ADOS, you're going to continue to bump heads. And there will be no solution involved. So hopefully I made myself clear in this video. Hopefully you guys understand why I say that Pan Africanism versus ADOS is lame. Pan Africanism versus ADOS is lame. It's lame as hell. And we got to, and I wish it could stop. Because it's just flat out lame. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon. And We'll talk later. So take it easy. Power and elevation to all of you. Thank you. And if you want to share this video, you're more than welcome to do so. Thank you.